I would like to take you to that Kuru assembly. What? Huh? That assembly. Where? Hastinapura. Hastinapura assembly. A number of people are seated like this. More. Right there. Draupadi was brought. Draupadi was brought. Why? They did a game of dice. Dice game. In the dice game, the opponents, Duryodhana's party, wanted Yudhishthira to pledge one after the other. So Yudhishthira had an undue flair for playing game. That was the only weakness Yudhishthira had. Every great man is said to be having a weakness, they say. So this is one weakness. So they exploited it. And then a particular griha was made and he was invited and he was coaxed to play. He started playing. He said, I stake my kingdom. Gone. Then what is left aside? 5 brothers. One after the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything gone. Then what is left aside? Maharaja, you are there. The opponent said. So I stake myself, he said. He staked him. Uske baad kya ho gaya? Now I am lost. No. Draupadi is surviving. Stake her also. He staked her also. That is what they wanted. So they rushed to Draupadi and said, you have become our slave. Come. She said, why? How did I become a slave? Because your own husband Yudhishthira staked you. Did he have anything else to stake? No. He staked everything. His brothers and finally himself. Did he stake himself first or me first? Himself. Bas. Draupadi got what she wanted. Himself first. Meanwhile, Yudhishthira sent a message, come to the assembly with a single dress. And she came. And then they asked Draupadi on an authority, mind you. It was a propriety and authority. Yudhishthira had already lost himself and lost Draupadi also. So all the 5 brothers are already seated in the platform as slaves of Duryodhana. And Draupadi was outside, she was having her monthly period. At that time she was pulled and brought. And finally Dushasana started assaulting because she raised a question. What is that question? I would like this honorable assembly to answer me. What? I am not a slave. Why? Because my husband staked everything and also himself. When he staked himself, if the wife also is staked along with the husband, where was the question of my opponents asking him to stake me further? Are you following me? The opponents themselves said, your wife is surviving, stake her also, they said. So at their instance she was staked. So she caught hold of it and stood on it and then said, because my husband had already staked and lost himself, he had no right over me. But you had allowed me independence because you wanted him to stake me further. That means in your own judgment and conclusion, I stand free. I stand upon my independence and refuse to accept this slavery. Now tell me whether it is right or not. The whole assembly shook. They started trembling, shivering. Nobody is answering. Vidura got up and said, answer. When a question is asked, you cannot deny an answer. Bhishma finally got up. I acknowledge her dispute, but I deny a verdict. I don't know. The verdict has to come from Yudhishthira, he said. What did Yudhishthira do? He had an uttariya, he took it and kept it. I have no right to speak. I am already enslaved by them. Thus there was a pandemonium. No answer. Question, no answer. No answer. No answer. Dushasana became impatient and he started pulling the sari. Tell me, what will you do? What will you do? The entire assembly sat mute and helpless. The whole creation became helpless and mute. Draupadi did not surrender. She asserted. Tell me, she asserted with the power of the body or with the majesty and magnificence of the mind? Dushasana, you can touch my body, pull my dress, but you can never touch my mind. I am free. I refuse to allow slavery at all. and nobody is coming to help. So she started shouting, Hare, Hare. All of you will say, God saved her. But this Swamiji will say, no God, but her mind. What? Her mind. You know, Mahabharata puts it in this way. When she started shouting and shouting in distress, Tadastu dharmo antarido mahatma samavrunodvai vividhaihi suvastraihi. The words are to be understood. Tadastu, at that critical juncture, dharmaha, that which you call righteousness. Righteousness is not an existence, it is a principle. That principle called righteousness, antaridaha, it is always associated inwardly with substances. See, salinity is inward to the salt. Whiteness is inherent in the milk. Similarly, dharma is inlaid and inherent and intrinsic in the human mind. Am I clear? So that mind which was devoted to dharma, who on a dharmic principle raised a point of doubt, and the doubt was not clarified, in that indecisiveness, Dushasana impatiently, intolerantly, greedily, violently, turbulently, like a criminal, he started assaulting her. She refused to accept. Tadastu dharmaha antarito mahatma. I wish you understand the meaning of these words. Antaritaha means inherent in her heart and mind, and inherent everywhere in the world. That suddenly appeared Mahatma. It has got supreme power. It is from nothing that the world has been made. There was no matter at all. Even people who believe in God, let me tell you, God alone was there. There was no matter. He wished, and by virtue of his sankalpa, matter was born. In the same manner, Antarito Mahatma Samavrunodvai, that dharma covered her with a number of colorful clothes. Dushasana started pulling. But she was getting covered. Ultimately, he became tired and withdrew. The matter did not end up there. This pandemonium was heard by Dhritarashtra, blind man. So immediately he sent word, what is taking place? Ask all of them to come. Say they reported. He called Draupadi and said, out of all my daughters-in-law, he had quite a few of them, you are the best and the most adorable. I excuse all of you. Nobody has been enslaved and nobody is a slave. Everybody is liberated. You all think that liberation came from the heaven. Never. It was Draupadi's insistence. It was Draupadi's righteous resolve. And that resolve came from her mind, my dear souls. It is such a majestic and magnificent mind that every one of you has. Will you realize it? We are not born to eat, sleep, multiply, and go to the cremation ground or burial ground. We are not born for that. We are born for gaining, realizing, and displaying the majesty, the impeccable nature of the mind. Before that, even rocks will melt. Rocks will melt. You know, our country, I am very much concerned. We have 3 constituents of governance. One is the elected parliament. Another is the executive. The third is the judiciary. The parliament alone is a transitory body. We cannot trust it. Because it is a transitory body. Today the treasury bench, tomorrow the opposition branch. And they are interested only in a 5-year term administration. But we have got a selected static machinery called the executive. Every minister is advised by an executive. A minister is to be advised. He is not simply to be obeyed. Even the other day I had a discussion with an IAS officer. He said, our constitution is very clear in the matter of safeguarding everybody. Nobody is supposed to take a decision or sign a paper by disregarding his conscience. So he can always say, this is not proper, this is not good for the country, this is harmful, I will not agree. Because he is paid by the people, by the hard taxes that we are giving. He is paid by them. He is not paid by the minister. Minister also gets his allowance, lavish allowance from money we are giving. So let us be very clear. And then the judiciary, another selected body. So we have only one transitory body and 2 lasting bodies. So I think the country is safe, provided the executive will become rightly, mentally enriched and empowered, and the judiciary also will be there. Then I don't think I fear anybody in this country, provided these two agencies function properly. And where lies the secret? The majesty and the magnificence of the mind. I wanted to get some detail from the finance department. Luckily, Ravi was able to provide me. That says that we have net gross tax revenue is something like 6.8 or 6.3 lakhs of crores, out of which 56.4% comes from the corporate taxation. Have you understood? Huh? No. 6.8 lakhs gross net tax revenue, out of which 56.4% is contributed by the corporations here. 1. 26.4 is given by income tax. Excise duty, 20, how much will it be? Something like 22%. This is the structure. The government is only a spending machinery. We are earning and giving. So I would like to breathe my last after seeing that our people has become tax aware. The tax awareness. Our money is being spent by the government. As taxpayers, do we not have the right to ask them, how have you spent? Why have you not spent? Where did the money go? If they are not answerable to us, to whom are they answerable? To heaven and hell? When are you going to become aware of it? There is no religion coming there. Do we want to exist as a nation, a glorious nation, a powerful nation, an impeccable nation? We have got the wealth for it, the treasure for it, not the economic treasure, material perishable treasure. We have got the imperishable inner treasure. Will you realize it is my question. Will you stand upon it like Draupadi? I sometimes go to mobilize public opinion. I may have to do it because just imagine that famous Shabarimala shrine where so many people, 2.5 crores of people go there every year. And less than 3% are witnessing the Magarajyoti. What is this Magarajyoti? The Travancore Devaswam Board, along with the police, they have a particular instrument. They put camphor there, light the lamp, and with wet gunny bag they cover it. They open it 2 times, lifting it up, and people say, Magarajyoti, celestial, celestial, celestial. No celestiality. Pandwalas are raising it with smoking. It has got nothing to do with Shabarimala or Ayyappa or shrine. And these people are going there with celibacy, discipline, etc. And they are hoodwinked. They are going there because from the Pandalam palace, all the ornaments of that prince, traditional ornaments, they are brought and they are, the deity is decked with that. Only on that day. Till next day, 11 o'clock, the ornaments will be there. So they are going there only to see that. The whole situation is hijacked by these people. You know why they are hijacking? The reason is very simple. If they have to see the Ayyappa, everybody will have to stand in queue and come and see the same spot. But a Jyoti can be witnessed from everywhere. So the entire mountain top is controlled by the police. And they make their own respectable sectors and then take money and permit people to stand there. And this is only 45 years old. Now the High Court asked, tell us whether it is man-made or celestial. So the matter became grave. So somebody asked me, especially a commissioner appointed by the High Court, a very respectable commissioner who has been given a very good certificate by the High Court also. He started speaking to me, Swamiji, I know that this is, so give me a report of whatever has taken place. So he gave me a report. After getting the report, I conducted a press conference and finally I wrote to the Ombudsman, in which I have very clearly said the sanctifying bhakti, the celebrated bhakti of Ayyappa does not need any support like this. This is only 45 years old. And this time, 102 people died because of the stampede. Up to now, 248 people have died. Every year somebody dies. And the people who die, most of them come from other states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. And they are not controlled and regulated by Kerala police will speak Malayalam and they will not understand. Naturally, there is disorganization and people are dying. So this Nalinakshan Nayar's wife called me and said, I am telling my husband, Swamiji, you please take it up. Unless sannyasins take up and give a call to the Hindu society, they will, not only Hindu, other societies also are there, they will not listen to. I said, I want a clear report. So he gave me a report, and then I wrote to the ombudsman. My letter says that because it is a man-made Jyoti, why Devaswam board alone raises it? Other people also will raise. Adhigasya adhigam balam. If one Jyoti is so much celestial and so much adorable, let us make it 100 or 1000. So other people are also asking me. Moreover, next time it should be stopped. We will go and stand in the Pannammala Medu and persuade them to stop it. If they don't stop, we will lie on the platform and they will have to stand on our bodies and light it. This is what I have written. Because I am very much interested in stopping it. Now, this is what we are saying. Everywhere. You know, in the most purest citadel of devotion also, this stealth is being played. For whose purpose, I don't know. So I started speaking about